Hello everyone, and I'm back with more Josou Kaikyou. I didn't have a choice. My original idea was to do a collaboration event with AKR-47. Don't know what that is. But this island doesn't have the money or influence for that. So wouldn't it be more cost-effective to use what was available? And, lucky enough, I had the perfect raw materials close at hand. I think Naone's personality might be a big reason Hibike's fled the island. But since our reliable Hibike-chan left, this island is going to need to change its strategy completely. That's what the ritual's for. Naone, I'm pretty sure that strategy exists inside your head and nowhere else. The current zeitgeist is truly spiritual, can discover ancient mysterious ruins or long-lost historical traditions. We can create new romance called money. That's a pretty fucking good line. Though, I don't know if I guess that's one's hard to say. Maybe it's spiritual in Japan. I don't feel like it is in America. Then again, I mean, it's not like it... I think there's no point in time when you could claim it was not somewhat. Like, it's not like religion is, going anywhere. And I probably shouldn't talk too much about this subject. I already sound judgy. I don't want to. I think this line is funny, though. That's the important part. This is pretty funny. And I mean, to be fair, I don't know about long, like, historical traditions or spirituality or whatever, but if there was an island like this and they discovered ancient, mysterious ruins and the promise of cute traps, I think I would go. Or at least want to go. I don't know if I could afford to, but I would want to go to Trap Island with some cool thing. Could be like, I'm trying to think of a good title for it. I was trying to think of like a game title, because I don't know, hearing about the mysterious ruins kind of makes me think of like, I don't know, like a Choco's mystery dungeon. Instead of Chocobo, it's Trap mystery dungeon, except that sounds, whatever. Moving on, I'm being dumb. I really don't think that's romance. If it all goes well, we can turn this island into a mystery island, a power spot, renowned throughout Japan for its mystical energy, and gets tons of wealthy tourists. See, she pretty much seems to be thinking the exact same thing I am. So that's what he really wants. Well, it's not like he was trying to hide it. I've been hearing some backtalk for the past little while. He's got really sharp ears. I should probably shut up. I think you should. I stopped thinking and turned to face Naone. But our problem is all the old folks aren't interested, right? They don't care about after they're dead. That's why all the young people with futures are leaving. To be totally honest, I think Hibike's decision to leave was the right one. Even so, are you still going to keep trying, Naone? Even so, it is my duty as the last member of the family of the island's leaders to keep trying until the very end. I see. He's unyielding. Naone's unbending stubbornness is one of his best qualities, but seeing him work so hard is painful for me. Naone, are you really sure you don't want to leave? What about you, Meguru-chan? Do you want to go? If you leave, you could take off that skirt and find a nice girl to go out with. I try to imagine myself living it up in the city somewhere, dressed as a man, going on dates with some girl. No way, I can't even imagine myself wearing men's clothes, and besides, that future was always impossible for me from the very beginning. What an interesting sentiment. I can't even imagine wearing men's clothes. I guess it's interesting because, at least for me, and I think for a lot of people, men's clothes are pretty much qualify as general clothes these days. There are a few things, but very few things which actually really differentiate. Because the men's clothes can be pretty generic, right? You put on a t-shirt, some jeans, bam, done. And girls can do that too, right? No one... I don't know about Japan, but from what I think even in Japan these days, I think you put on a t-shirt and jeans and no one's gonna be like disrespectful or whatever. Though I could be wrong about that. That one I'm not sure on. It might be a little different in Japan. So this statement might make... I don't honestly know. I won't go. I couldn't leave you by yourself, Naone. Thanks. Naone is staring in the direction of Okitsushima. Not that I'm really complaining either way. It's not like I'm like, oh my god. You know, whatever. I mean, it was still a funny line. The island where our goddess said words. She said words. It's the island where our goddess is said to reside, a holy ground, the foundation of the islanders' religion. However, the rapid loss of people we've been experiencing these days, it's hard to believe in the divine. Can't rely on help from above, or else our generation will be the last. Well, that's depressing. Refuse to give up is amazing, Naone. I just try to do whatever I can. I don't want to have any regrets later. It's also... I'm not sure. I feel like this is also... I mean, I know it's not unique for a thing in... Actually, I'm not sure. I'm trying to remember if we've had other games that have this kind of, like... I'm sure we have the current, like, social stuff in Japan is something that tends to come up in a lot of media and games, but it's so interesting that this one's so involved in it. Like, that's currently, from what our knowledge of this game is, my limited knowledge is, right, is that, like, the point of the game, I don't think we'll have much involvement, but the point of the game is pretty much to get people on the island. We're probably going to discover some ancient shrine or something, some mystical myth, and bam. Fucking people show up and problem solved and sex happens, question mark? And profit. Just try to do whatever I can. I don't want to have any... Alright. Oh, so you really do intend to perform the island crossing. Island of Okishitsuma, just off the coast of our own, is the island of Nakachitsuma. Shimawatari is the name of an ancient ceremony wherein traps, like us, disguise ourselves as women and go to Okitsuma, princess god, to pray for prosperity to its resident Higami. Women are forbidden from the island, and even men who are allowed to travel there must perform a purification ceremony first, and can only go once a year on a certain day. Two of us are going to try to visit that island. Damn, that's really specific. Long ago, when the island was a prosperous trading post, the ritual was apparently performed every year. Recently, with our declining population, the ceremony has ceased. Okay, I might be wrong about where the story was going, honestly. I'm still curious. By the way, formed the divination, right? How did it go? Family is the island's priests, the spiritual pillar of the island, and has been since time immemorial. As a result, sometimes a child is born who has certain abilities. As such, I'm quite often visited by people who request my services as a fortune teller to tell them what lies in their futures, or my usual divination to determine whether any divine providence would allow the Shimewatari, but about that, The results were a little strange. Wait, so I'm an actual magical girl? Wow. Cool. I guess at least I get something. So my character might be a bit of a jerk, but actual magical mystical powers are cool. You predict something bad happening? Well, I mean, if you have actual fortune-telling abilities, though, couldn't you advertise that? Like, come on. Unless, like, all shrine maidens have these actual fortune-telling abilities in this world, in which case I guess we're back to seeking out ruins, or whatever the fuck we're doing. I'm just saying, I think, like, an actual fortune-teller that actually told fortunes, people would visit for that. No, I think it's fine. I'm not really sure how to say it. Don't beat around the bush. Just come out and say it clearly. Problem is that it isn't clear. What do you mean? I like you now, but I don't think that needs further explanation, does it? I couldn't see anything. I couldn't predict what would happen after we perform Shima Watari. Couldn't see anything. That means we're probably gonna die, right? Yeah, this is a first for me. We're gonna go cause the end of the world. Man, wouldn't that be a twist? I just think this is a cute game about traps, and so far it's been really funny. And then we go to the island for a ritual and fucking just demons suddenly. I mean, it could still be a porn game. Some people are into demons. I may or may not be into certain types of demons. Incubuses are a thing. The power in the blood of generations of Miko running through my veins hasn't waned over time. My powers as a Miko, even though I'm a trap, are the strongest ever recorded, to the point that some people on the island mistakenly worship me as an avatar of our god. Dude. Fucking fucking make a video about that. I mean, yeah, I'd go to the island for traps too, but come on. You telling me that people worship you and you can't fucking get I guess it's because the main character is lazy, right? And she seems like a bit of a, she, whatever, seems like a bit of a bitch. I guess they probably were just like, no. Or maybe that you're not allowed to do that. Maybe you're not allowed to advertise these superpowers or some bullshit. I'm just saying. So it's really worrying that I just can't see anything. I'm telling you, man, you're gonna end the world. I see. So that's why you think it's strange. It's gonna be Corruption of Champions Trap Edition. Yeah, I didn't mention it when Hibiki was around because I didn't want him to worry. What do you want to do? Should we call off going to the island? Well, I already know what his answer will be. Of course not. It sounds interesting. Yeah, that's just what I thought. I knew his answer without any divination required. It's all good. Not knowing... It's all good. Not knowing what the future holds. The unknown's so dramatic. Despite all our planning, we'll just have to take the things as they come. Now, Nay, you're getting too excited. I finally have the written permission at Islands Miko. I can't help it. Oni-chan hasn't been this excited in a long while. Well, I know how you feel. Most of the people on the island accept that I have been chosen by the goddess, and so overawed by it, they don't think for themselves. They want to know their fate before they do anything. As a result, they respect me, but they also keep their distance. It's like Hibiki and Naone, the two people I can talk to normally, are so important to me. Which is why I tried to kill Hibiki, apparently. Shrug. Turning things around just when it looks like all hope is lost sounds great to me. And I know you agree, Meguru. I definitely agree. Taken care of me ever since I was a child, so he really understands me, not being able to see the future. That's just how it normally is for most people. Yep. For me, somebody who's spent so much time knowing the future that it's become inconvenience, it's an incredibly valuable experience. But isn't this the first time you haven't been able to see anything from Okishusima? Why do you think that's changed? I'm sure it's something to do with what we're planning. Besides that, I don't have a clue. For now, I can only see one thing. Doom! Something on it that ties us to it. Something that makes us cross-dress. That's this place that our ancestors claim is where gods reside. And it just might be the place where we can break the chains that bind us. The dresses? Chains? I don't think it's a bad idea to find out. Well then, today's the day we carry out the plan. It's gonna start raining soon. Really? Didn't say anything about that in the forecast. Watch the local forecast. Supposed to stop tonight, though. Then in that case, we'll move under the cover of darkness. Even if I'm going with our Miko, somebody might try and stop us if they see. Got it. Oh no, the squids are out drying. Let's meet at the port at 12. Midnight, huh? I'm not sure about that. Doze off, I'll wake you up nice and gently. Naone says that, then runs towards the beach, where there's rows of squids lined up to dry. Tatsuji, it's going to rain. What the heck? I just put everything out. Okay. I guess Tetsuji is someone. I can tell from the tone of his voice that Naone is more than nervous than he lets on. More nervous than he lets on. Well, so am I. The mysterious island just across the rising waves. I want to go there. No, that's not it. I want to choose to go there. Since I was born as the newest Miko, I've lived my life in a way that was already decided. Just never made any choices of my own free will. That's why I want to go. So, it's always one of those weird games where I'm like, with fortune tellers, where the fortune teller doesn't like telling fortunes, and I'm like, okay, so what happens? Can you decide to try and change your future, though? Like, because you know the future, but what if you, like, what if you just one day were like, ah, fuck this shit, and, like, took a boat off the island? But you didn't even see it coming yourself. Like, so that's why you did it, though, right? I don't know. Maybe I'm misunderstanding. Maybe that's the kind of thing that, like, would just, I don't know. I always have that wonderment, not that I think it's a bad, not that it's the story is a problem, I've just seen it before, and I always wonder. I'm always, like, interested. I'm rambling, though. So badly that I'm a little surprised in a good way. Yeah, it was a cute little transition screen. 1 year later. Oh, we're skipping a year later. Wow. A strong breeze makes me feel like I've left the sun's heat behind. As I stand at the front of the boat, getting sprayed by the wake, my body feels refreshed. Ha! So cold! Standing at the bow of the boat that's moving through the sea incredibly fast. Okay, so I think this makes more sense. I bet we're playing the real main character now. Cutting through the waves, watching the scenery go by. It's a hot summer, but this environment is working as all natural air conditioning. You can see it now, Senpai. BK points a finger towards a thin smudge that might be an island way off in the distance. That must be Nakatoshima Island, located in the Strait of whatever. It's a completely isolated from the mainland by miles of seawater, with absolutely nothing nearby besides the small island of Okitsutsima. So that's it. It's a lot more remote than I thought. Oh, sorry. You can just be honest and say it's out in the middle of nowhere. It's true after all. Jump gets delivered a day late. Everybody on the island is related, and everybody knows each other. You're not the only one to think it's unusual, Senpai. That island really is backwater. Still, to think such a remote area could exist in modern Japan. Don't sugarcoat it. It's the frontier. It's basically Jacopetti's dark continent. You say that, then you just insult it outright. How do you even know such an obscure movie in the first place? Well, the place we're going to isn't fictional. Biki's been acting strange ever since we started getting close to his home. A lot moodier than he usually is. I'm getting a bit worried. Place where we're going is your hometown, correct? I think that's way off in the distance. That's it, way off in the distance there, yeah. I was really surprised to find out the regular ferry wasn't available. The boat that I'm on is just an ordinary fishing boat. The owners happen to have business on the mainland and let me tag along when they returned home. The reason I can even make it to the island is because of that lucky coincidence. Otherwise, the only way to get to the island is a ferry that usually runs once a week. If it's not available, which it isn't, then you have to either hitch a ride, like I'm doing, or drive your own boat. The public transportation is ridiculously terrible. Isn't that bad for tourism? Island's in the middle of a depopulation crisis. Its council have basically completely given up. They're not even trying to promote tourism anymore. I see, it's a closed community full of people who aren't interested in the outside world. So they're the ones I had to get permission to visit Okishima from, huh? Final destination isn't actually Nakatoshima, but the even more remote Okitoshima. My goal is to collect various plants and other botanical specimens. The island? Okay, so that is your goal. I was wondering for a while. I was like, what's this dude doing? Why is he going to this stupid little island? I wouldn't go to this stupid little island. I guess he's an herb nerd. The island called Okichitsuma is the absolute upper limit of the subtropics. I'm confident I'll have tons of unusual plants. The research lab that I'm a member of is currently working on a project to collect Japan's rare indigenous plants, and I'm going to be searching this region. Although I want to go for the good of science, Okichitsuma has been worshipped as a holy land for generations around here. Getting permission to visit wasn't easy. I mean, it doesn't seem like they'd be able to do much if you just snuck on, but I guess that's not proper. I guess that's not what you should do. Regardless, it seems like Hibiki is doing pretty well for himself. He's hanging out with a cool research dude. And they're, like, doing research. I don't know. Furthermore, the culture of the island is rather anti-outsider, so whenever I called to request permission, I got a frosty response. My investigation was temporarily halted, but fortunately I found out that a student at my university is actually a native. The student in question, Hibiki, he's my university kohai in a different department. He's the golden boy of the university's faculty of law. That's rad. Man, I like Hibiki. I feel like I would watch a game about Hibiki. I would watch a game about any of the characters here except for Meguru, and probably gonna be main character guy. I wouldn't watch about him. I mean, who wants to learn about herb nerd more? Nobody. He's apparently something of a legal genius. The point that the university outright waived entrance exams for him out of a desire to get him to attend this school. It's fucking badass. Apparently his family is influential on the island. I have no idea how he accomplished it, but he agreed to help. I got permission almost instantly. I guess connections are everything, whether in a big city university or a remote rural town. I try not to think about how completely wasted all my own efforts were. Sorry again for making you work as my guide. Please don't worry about it. I was planning to return home anyways. It's summer and there's an extended vacation from university. As soon as it's only natural for a student to want to go back to their hometown at a time like this, I wouldn't. I wouldn't. Sides, you're covering all my transportation expenses and paying me well on top. A side job like this is perfect to make a bit of cash. Well, that's fair. For cash, I probably wouldn't. Just why has he been in such a bad mood for the past little while? Closer to the island, the deeper the furrows in his brow get. Is it just my imagination? Of course, it's unlikely he would just tell me if I asked. In fact, he'd never tell me. It's felt like he's put a wall around him for the past little while. The port is growing larger, way off in the distance. I hope my scientific expedition goes well. Alright, I think I'll end it here with us reaching the island. Thank y'all for watching, and I hope to see you all next time.